All right, I think we might have got this thing going. Can anybody see me? That will be the that'll be the true test. Anyway, yeah, apologize here. We're running about 10 minutes late. I've been sitting here for 20 minutes trying to get this thing to work right. Been over on the other channel, so everything was screwed up on this channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's see if we can hit this intro. Let's see if we can get the intro to work. That's the first thing that didn't work that I started trying to fix.
Welcome to the American Nomad Podcast, hosted by the legend himself, or as I refer to him, the legend in his own mind, Rav Holly.
All right, guys. It says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming as such. So something's going on. I'm not sure what's going on, but hopefully you guys can see and hear me. Just that's one reason, I have two channels. That's one reason I stay on one channel, because every time I switch over to a different channel, everything gets screwed up on the other one. You would think everything would just stay the same. I could go to one channel, come back to the other channel, everything would be good. Nope, not my luck. It didn't work that way. Like if I touch anything on one channel and get off the other one to go to the other one, come back to this one, then everything is screwed up. Hey, Random Nomad. Matilda, good to see you guys. So anyway, as usual, story of my life, technical difficulties with this live thing. Picture's good. Thank you so much for letting me know, Matilda. I appreciate it. I'm getting an error message. It says open widget. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, such as viewers will experience something. Anyway, it seems to be working. How are you guys today? So, Matilda, you know this. I'm not sure if Random Nomad knows this. But if you don't know this, Nomad News is back. I'm into about my 4th or 5th episode of Nomad News over on the Nomad News channel. So I've been over there. Sounds good now. Okay, great. Good to hear. Thank you, Random Nomad. So yeah, the Nomad News channel is back up and working. And it's kind of crazy because I've done 4 videos, I believe. And the views has tripled on that channel. Good, trying to stay cool. Yeah, everybody's trying to stay cool. It has been hot this year, really hot everywhere. So I've got everything pretty much jetting over there. I finally have got a system set up over there to be able to do these Nomad News videos pretty much every day. It takes me about 5-6 hours to put one video out, but that's better than so that you put out a few videos. Yep. I did, Random Nomad. So it's my old way of doing Nomad News. It used to take me about 12 hours to put one video out. So now with this system that I have here and being able to finally figure this stuff out, it gave me enough confidence to figure out a better system over there to be able to do the Nomad News, basically just using this same setup. We're used to, hey, Trav, man, good to see you, buddy. I used to set up a camera, a regular camera, and film everything on that camera, and then film the sound separately, and then I'd have to, in Audacity, and then I'd have to sync the sound, and it was a freaking nightmare. I don't know if we're locked up. I don't think we have a good, I don't know if we have a good, we may not have a good signal today. Something's going on. Hopefully you guys can see me. But anyway, it would take me 4 hours, 5 hours to film a video, get it uploaded to my computer. I was doing everything on my Mac back here, my Mac laptop, my MacBook Pro, and my iMac. And it would take me 4 hours to film the video, and then it would take me another 4 to 6, 7 hours, sometimes 8 hours to edit it. I've got this thing done now where I can film, edit, and get a video out in about 6 hours. So I'm really stoked about that and really excited. I basically am using this exact same setup that I have here that I live stream with, except I just record instead of stream. So it's really going to help me. I think it's really going to help me generate a lot of videos over there. Uh-oh. I'm having some difficulty here with I don't know if it's the internet today or what's going on. I'm just streaming to YouTube. Buffed a couple of times, but now, okay, yeah, that's what it's telling me as well. I'm usually streaming to like YouTube and Twitch, and it works great. It says it's telling me to open a widget. Poor stream quality. It's telling me the stream quality is poor. So I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Enable DVR. I don't enable DVR. What is that? Oh, that, I guess that's so you can rewatch the stream. I don't know. I think it's buffering again. Anyway, see if we can carry on here. Now I've got something over my screen. There we go. So I haven't streamed in a few days, just been creating videos, and now this thing is chaos. Thing just buffed on me a few times. Yeah, so this thing is not working right. And that's why I stay on one channel or the other. I try to go over to the other channel, come back over here. Everything's just completely freaked up. Even and now my Stream Deck's not working. That's what I was doing, trying to fix my Stream Deck. It's not working. Well, that works. So I spent like 30 minutes trying to get my Stream Deck working properly. But anyway, the main thing is I have, hey, Richard Kemple, what is going on, buddy? Long time no see, for sure. So anyhow, it's buffering again. Oh, man. We may not get through this live stream today. We've only been going 6 minutes. It says the picture's good. It's showing me if it's stuck buffering. It says no data. YouTube is not receiving enough data. What is going on? So weird. I lost the stream completely. Yeah, it's stuck. It's locked up. Can you guys see it? It's showing me that's still buffering. I don't see it working. Oh, it's still good for you, Matilda? Looks fine there. Okay. Well, on my screen, it's stuck buffering. That's crazy. So weird. Oh, it's good on your end too? Okay, I'm just going to run with it then. It's got the circle on my screen here that shows it's just buffering. But if it's working for you guys, then we'll just keep running with it. Anyway, so it really... getting that other channel up and running really has given me a pause to think about this channel. Okay, you see and hear me fine? Great. Thank you, Random Nomad. It's still showing it buffering on my end. It's showing but as long as you guys can hear me. So anyway, let's see if B camera's still working. Yeah, still working. Okay. It really gave me pause with this channel because I've really been concentrating a lot on this channel, as you guys know. And yeah, it's showing me like a red CPU usage. It's showing the whole stream is all screwed up. And like my screen on my end is locked up. It's just showing it buffering. But I guess you guys can see me. But I'm scared to try to refresh it because I don't want it to kill the stream. Yeah, the circle of death. That's what's going on my screen. It shows that the time, it says it's live and it says 9:17, 9:18, but I can't see the picture. It's just showing it buffering. I wonder if I could just freaking close it. No. That's what I like about Twitch. You can just close it. Anyway, So it really gave me pause with this channel. So I really need to come up with this channel and figure out exactly what I'm going to do here on this channel, because like you guys know, I've lost monetization on this channel, which basically cut my income, my YouTube income, in half. And then me just concentrating on this channel and letting the other channel die, my YouTube income has went from, I used to make about $150 to $200 per channel. Usually I made about $200 on this channel, or $175, and I would usually make about $135 on Nomad News, $75 to $135. So that's usually what I made per month. Not big bucks, but every little bit helps. It's a lot better than not making any money at all. So this month, this channel's made nothing. It's made nothing for like the last 5-6 months since they demonetized it. And the other channel has died down to, I think it's made $25 the last month. But getting back on there, putting up 4 YouTube videos, the income is, the monthly income has already doubled. So, I need to get back into looking at getting both of these channels back up and running, generating an income again, because I didn't do this just strictly for the fun of it and a hobby. I did it to actually be a little bit of income. And so that's what I need to do is, you know, I'm going to have to bend knee to the YouTube gods. But, you know, the other thing being back over on the other Nomad News channel is just focusing on the positivity has basically left me like not wanting to talk about the controversial negative stuff that's kind of going on in the world, which was actually a really good relief and a good change for me, because I just kind of get caught up in whatever is going on that, you know, makes me, you know, that kind of gets my blood, you know, my temperature to rise. And I just want to find fun stuff on this channel. But I'm conflicted. I don't know if I want to turn this into a gaming channel and just concentrate on the Nomad stuff on Nomad News, or I don't know if I want to just do Nomad News on Nomad News, just Nomad News stuff, and then use this channel for like guests, having like Nomad guests on and doing the live streams on this channel. Or I don't know if I want to just turn this into like my Twitch gaming channel and just upload my gaming videos to this channel. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Matilda says, love your news channel. Nomad News is monetized. Yes, Nomad News is monetized. I didn't lose monetization on Nomad News. My whole deal with Nomad News is with the drama and stuff that was going on at one time. I just really got burnt out on it. And then I got where I was burnt out on talking about my truck, because I got sick of people talking about my truck was going to get broken into. It's going to get broken into. Like I couldn't even talk about my truck without 50 comments telling me, oh my God, you got to do something with that truck. It's going to get broken into. I just got so sick of listening to that I just didn't even want anything to do with Nomad, that whole Nomad community. But, you know, I took a break from it. So now I'm kind of back into it. With Nomad News, I really don't have to talk about my truck that much. So, I mean, it all works out. You know, I have a fire again to do Nomad News, and I'm enjoying the process. And another big hurdle that I had is the reason I haven't done Nomad News in so long is because I switched from Mac, you see my iMac right here, to PC, because I have a new PC now. And my iMac is pretty old, and I have a pretty new MacBook, or newer MacBook Pro. It's like a 2015, 2016. Not that new, right? Used to be new. But I have a MacBook Pro that I would do all of my editing on for my videos in Final Cut Pro and iMovie, mostly Final Cut Pro. And I didn't know any editing software anymore for PC, even though I started on PC with Sony Vegas. I didn't know any freaking PC software. So as far as editing, so I had bought this editing software a long time ago because it was cheaper than Final Cut Pro, because Final Cut Pro is like $200, $300. Final Cut Pro, I think, is $299. So at one time when I first started YouTube, I bought this software because I wanted nicer titles, and like Final Cut Pro really doesn't have very nice titles. They're pretty generic. But I bought this software called Filmora, and so I could do my titling and stuff and have little fancier titles and beginning intro screens and stuff like that. It never worked. It never worked. And I didn't know Final Cut Pro, but I learned Final Cut Pro. So then I never even needed the Filmora. I never used it. I think I'd done maybe 1 or 2 drone videos with the Filmora because it was just so clunky. It never worked right. Well, when I switched over to PC, I'm like, now's the time I can use Filmora. Finally, I paid for it. I've never been able to use it. So now's the time I can finally use Filmora. Guess what? Your license only covers either Mac or PC. So basically I would have to buy it all over again to install it on a PC, which it's only like $80, but it's just the principle of it. So I just didn't know any other software. So I've been stuck trying to figure that one out because I don't like editing in Mac when I have this big, huge setup for PC now. I didn't want to edit on my laptop. It just beat me down and was old. After the stream, I'll go check out the new videos up on Adobe. No, let's see. Let's get back in the chat, see what you guys are saying. You're also, love your news channel. Matilda says you're also helping other Nomad channels with your showcasing them. That was my idea, Matilda, when I started it, is to try to help other small YouTube channels out. Richard Kimple says, Rav, I'll admit I jumped in here occasionally here and there, and it wasn't a fan of all the negativity. Yeah, I completely agree, Richard. Me either. Travman says, I like the idea of you spending more time on Nomad News and then having American Nomad as a live stream with guests. Yeah, that's my idea, Travman. I think that's going to be, so like if I can book a Nomad, instead of having the live stream over on Nomad News, the live stream would probably be over here. That's what I'm thinking. And then I will do like some unboxing stuff and just other stuff on this channel that's more just, you know, across the board. Random Nomad says Adobe. No, I used to have Adobe Premiere. I've got Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom, but Adobe Premiere now is like, I don't know, it's expensive. It's like $40 a month or something like that if you have Photoshop and Lightroom. So I no longer have Adobe Premiere. I don't pay for Premiere. I used to own the entire Adobe suite, which had Premiere in it. But here's the problem. I was never smart enough to figure Premiere out. It was just always too hard for me. So I couldn't figure out Adobe Premiere. So I always used Final Cut Pro, which is Mac. But Adobe Premiere just seemed way too complicated. But over here on PC, now they have a new, it's not new, it's been around for quite some time, and it's just as good as Adobe Premiere, and it's used a lot in the professional entertainment industry to edit commercials, movies, short films, music videos. So the two basic standards are Adobe Premiere, and then you have another one called DaVinci Resolve that's put out by Blackmagic. And Blackmagic owns like Blackmagic cameras. Well, I've downloaded DaVinci Resolve. I have it on my Alienware. I have it on my other, my server, my old Dell server. I've downloaded it before. Now my Dell server wouldn't run it. It was too much program for my old Dell server. It just wouldn't run it. And then my Alienware would run it, but it was still pretty clunky. It seemed pretty clunky. So I have a brand new AMD Ryzen 9 now with 32 gigabytes of G-Skill RAM, GTX 1650 Super graphics GPU. So, I mean, I knew I could run DaVinci now. So I downloaded it again and I watched it. I went in and watched a few, because I was thinking about buying Filmora again the other day. I downloaded it. I was getting real close to pulling the lever and buying Filmora again and paying for the license for it for PC. So then I'd have it on Mac and I'd have it on PC. But I decided to get on YouTube and look at some DaVinci Resolve and see because there are some free softwares you can use for PC, but they're not very good. And I wanted something that was good. And I know DaVinci Resolve is good, but it's just too complicated. The whole UI is just, the user interface just seems has always been too overwhelming for me. So I just have never been able to figure it out. But I went on YouTube. looked at it right before before I paid for Filmora, which is $90 or something like that. I said, you know what, let me look one more time and see if I can find a simple video to give me an idea, a jump start on how I can use the basics for DaVinci Resolve and create a video. And I've done this before. I've done this probably 10 or 15 times. And every single time the video's like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And, you know, you're 20 minutes into it before the guy even opens up and starts trying to show you a project. I just wanted something short and sweet to show me how to use DaVinci Resolve or how to get it set up and get going with it. And lo and behold, I stumbled onto a couple of YouTube channels that had like 4-minute videos. And this one guy, he just goes right through it. So I just followed his steps. I have another monitor now, which is something I didn't have. I have 3 monitors. So I put his video up above me here. And then I had my DaVinci Resolve open on my screen here. And I just followed his directions, his 4-minute video. And within 4 minutes, I had the basic concepts of working DaVinci Resolve. And I opened it up right there and recorded a video and did my very first video with DaVinci Resolve for Nomad News. So my biggest hurdle was I could not edit anything for Nomad News because I'm not using my MacBook Pro anymore. So, or if I did, I would record it on a camera and then have to pull the memory card out. And I have this camera just set up. It's hooked to this computer. So all I have to do now is just hit screen record and record, or, you know, just hit start recording. And I use everything that I have here. So it's so much simpler. So getting into DaVinci Resolve, I'm so excited about learning it because like I said, DaVinci Resolve is like one of the most extensive editing softwares you can use. And I mean, there's movies. You can Google DaVinci Resolve movies. There's real movies you've watched on the big screen that have been edited with DaVinci Resolve. So it's a real editor. Like the one I was going to buy for $80, nobody uses that in the film industry. Nobody uses that in the real industry. It's kind of like a film editing for dummies. It's so simple that, you know, even your grandma could download Filmora and kind of figure it out enough to make her a YouTube video. And DaVinci Resolve is, you know, it's got a lot of bells and whistles, but the user interface just seems way overcomplicated for me. I didn't know what to do. You know, I didn't know how to get a project started. And the videos I found, just out of sheer luck, it set me right on my way. And now I'm editing with DaVinci Resolve, and I'm really excited because, I mean, I can do some really good things if I really start learning DaVinci Resolve and get into even the more complicated aspects of learning the software. Let's jump back in here and see what you guys have to say. Travman says, let's see. Random Nomad says, after the stream, okay, Adobe sounds like a good plan. I agree. Random Nomad says, I gotcha. Travman says, yeah, kind of like Nomad News is your channel, but then American Nomad is about your life stories, guest being Nomad, and their life stories. I tried making that all one message. Put the stories up. Yeah, exactly. You got it to a T, Travman. That's my idea. Is, you know, just making this channel just more or less, you know, if I have a nomad that wants to come on the podcast, I still want to do my podcast, you know what I mean? Because I've been uploading podcasts because I upload the audio version of these, which a lot of you guys probably don't know because you watch it, but I actually upload the audio version of this and it goes out to iTunes and Apple Podcast and Stitcher Radio and Spotify and Amazon Podcast. It goes out to all of the big podcast formats, which you guys probably don't know. So this podcast is pushing 10,000 downloads, which is not a lot, but considering, you know, I mean, considering it's not, I mean, it's nothing to brag about. I mean, there's a lot of podcasts that are doing, you know, 10,000 downloads an episode, but, you know, if it'll keep growing, that's what I want it to do, is keep growing. But it averages 60 downloads per podcast. And, you know, it streams live on YouTube. So it's crazy to me that people listen to this and don't even see what you guys are seeing. They just listen to the audio version of it. And I had no idea because I just kind of throw the podcast up on the audio and didn't pay much attention to it. And then I started looking at the analytics and went, holy crap, 60 downloads per episode? I had no idea. I thought maybe it was getting 4 or 5. You know, I kind of figured like I was just doing that and wasting time. But on my old server, or my old podcast host, which was Podbean, it's got almost 6,000 downloads on Podbean. And then if you go over here, as a matter of fact, I could probably show you guys. I think, let's see how I would do that. If I go to Red Circle, which I only started on Red Circle a few months ago, and it's pushing 2,000 downloads on Red Circle. I don't know if I can remember what the freaking. Let me see if I can get in here. Let's see exactly how many. Yeah, so here we go. Let me see if I can share my screen here on this. Why is it not working? The browser's not working. That's weird. Well, I was going to show you guys. Let's see. What could be? Anyway, that's not working. Should work. Could you guys see the browser there? I don't think you guys could see the browser. It looks like it's just a black screen. Let's see. Let me go back here. Browser. Nope. My camera works, but the browser's not working. Let's see. It's got to be in this software here. And it's so funny because I was literally just using this exact same setup when I was doing my, when I did Nomad News earlier. I was literally just using the same setup. Yeah, the browser, it come in hooked somehow. Let's see. Browser. Let's see. Let me see what's going on here. So it's Microsoft Edge. There it is. It just lost its connection. So you guys should be able to see now. So we are, let's see. Yeah, there we go. It's working now, right? You guys can see the browser. So no, just you shrunk into corner. Okay, but you guys should be able to see the browser now. I just got it reset. It should be working. Let me know if it's working. So here's the analytics for the podcast. So right now we are at 1,898 total downloads on Red Circle, which we've only been on here on this new host for, I don't remember, only for like 4 months, I think. So we're not doing too bad. But anyway, yeah, I want to keep the podcast going. So, and to do that, I need to be able to record here so I can upload the audio of this to the podcast. Let's see, Travman, I tried making that all one mass. You know any good? Random Nomad says, do you know any good video editing for mobile? Yes, Random Nomad. Do you have an iPhone? If you have an iPhone, a lot of the Droid stuff, you have to pay for it. It's like a monthly fee. Like I even have one that I pay for. I even have one that I pay for. But if you have an iPhone, you can definitely download iMovie. It's probably the best if you have an iPhone. If you have a Droid, let me try to remember. I think Splice. There's one called Splice, but like I said, you have to pay, I think it's like $4 a month for Splice. Richard Kemp, you have a black screen? Random Nomad, just having issues tonight. Well, it's not an American Nomad show. Exactly. The main issue is I've been over on the other channel. I haven't been on this channel. So I've set everything up for the other channel. Does that make sense? So setting everything up for Nomad News changes all the settings for American Nomad. So all the settings get erased. So I have to come back in and get everything set up for American Nomad. That's why you see me have always, like when I left American Nomad for Nomad News, I never did anything on this channel. It went dormant for a year and a half, 2 years. There was not a video on here. I did nothing on this channel because I was just on Nomad News. And then when I decided that I was going to do live stream and I came back over here, I left Nomad News and never signed on to that channel because I have all the settings set for this channel. If I go to that channel, you see what happens. This is what happens. It screws everything up for this channel. So I set everything for that channel. This channel screwed up. If I get on this channel, now that channel will be screwed up. Does it make sense? So that's the reason I always go from one channel to another and leave the other channel alone. As a matter of fact, I have literally thought about deleting other channels. Just deleting Nomad News. I almost like 10 times thought I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to delete it with all the videos. So it won't even be a temptation. But luckily I didn't do that. So I've got to figure out how to be able to work back and forth between these two channels and be able to set them both up so I can get them both working. So that's my last hurdle. Hopefully that I can get figured out. And if I used my old software with StreamYard, I could probably get it to work a lot easier, but that's $30 a month that I'm no longer going to pay for. So I have to be able to get this working with just OBS, which is a free software, which is way more complicated than StreamYard's. Make sense? Richard Kemp says, right, at Random Nomad. Yep, all good. Travman, yeah, but you need to hold control and roll to Zoom. Yes. Thank you, Trav, man. That was, you know, you telling me that was one of the biggest, I still use that all the time. That was one of the biggest, something I just didn't know how to do. And it was so simple that you told me how to do that. You know, it's funny because I'd Googled it before and never found out how to do it. And then you said it one time in the chat. I'm like, dude, that is what I needed because my old eyes can't see worth the crap. Trav, man, what you need is a chunk of software that holds your settings and then you can resume them. You know, that is, you know, there is, I've looked into that, Trav, man. You're so right on that. I've looked into that. And OBS there's a plugin. You just have to set it up. So I need to download, and it looks, I'm not a genius. And the older I get, the more tech challenged I am. Does that make sense? I used to be able to do I built my first computer back in the 90s. I used to be able to do anything with computers that was way more complicated than what I do now. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. It's like the older you get, you know, it's like my dad trying to figure out how to work his iPhone. You know what I mean? I look at him and go, it's so silly. He has so many problems working his iPhone, but he's in his 80s. You know what I mean? Like things that are so simple for me, he can't figure it out. And that's what's happening to me with computers. It's like, I'm just like tech challenged. I can't figure these things out. Just like the scrolling that Trav Man showed me how to do. Like that stuff, you know, I've been working with computers for going on 30 years. I built my first computer out of a dummy system from a hotel. I built my first 486DX out of a computer that wasn't even a computer back in like 96, 97. But for some reason, man, I have so many problems these days. But Trav, man, there is a plugin for OBS. So what it does is once you download that plugin and get it set up, it controls all your settings. So all you have to do is hit a button on your Stream Deck and everything goes back to the same as it was. So I need to get in there and figure out that plugin and get it set up, because that way I could just go back. I could go, if I just used it on this channel, because I kind of know on Nomad News because I'm not streaming live on there. But on this channel, if I could come from Nomad News back over here and just hit the button on my Stream Deck and everything fit, it would be perfect. But then like right now, I don't know what happened. My Stream Deck's not working properly. Only half of it's working because this my voice mod thing that I have it's not working right now. Random Nomad says, I'm not tech savvy. I am pretty tech savvy, but it's just some things these days I just literally can't figure out. So do you have an iPhone, Random Nomad, or do you have a Droid? If you have an iPhone, download iMovie. It's going to look really complicated to you, but I promise you it's not. I've edited complete videos in iMovie. As a matter of fact, I will show you a video that you probably have already seen, but you would have no idea this was the case. Let me see if I can bring up some YouTube here. See what channel it's on.
I'm a person that...
And of course, it's on the wrong channel. I have to switch channels. All right.
SendPro Online is a smarter way to get your products to your...
And let's see. Go to my channel. So I'm going to show you guys something really quick. See if we can get this to work. There we go. I got it working now. See, I'm getting there. It's taken me a year and a half to figure this kind of stuff out, but I'm getting there slowly but surely. I'm actually getting there. So look, it shows this, the live stream going. That's cool. So if you scroll down here, that's actually really cool. To this video right here, which some of you have probably watched. It's only got 120 views, but Cattle Ranch, New Mexico, a day in the life on the ranch. So if you click this video, if you've watched this video, let's go back to the front of it.
Welcome everyone to the channel. My name is Rav Holly, the American Nomad. This video is a video that I shot last month while this.
So if you've seen this video on my channel, what you probably didn't know is I did everything except for this very beginning part right here. This very beginning part right here, I recorded on a camera. But once you get to this, right
Orange County,
here, all of this stuff, those pictures, that picture.
I landed in Lubbock,
Let's
Texas.
see. This right here, that's my brother's wedding. And then out on the ranch,
So we can have some barbecue.
all of this, all of that. This entire video, the entire thing, which is 28 minutes and 40 seconds, the entire video was done with a phone. Except for that very first little intro, I recorded that on my camera. But just that little, you know, telling you guys what it was going to be. I recorded that on my actual vlogging camera, but I didn't take my vlogging camera with me. So I took the video with the iPhone, I edited it with an iPhone, and I uploaded it to YouTube with an iPhone. I didn't use any other camera, even though I have them. So you can do it. You know what I mean? If you want to record, man, I lost my whole. So if you figure out how to use, iMovie, you can do some decent little videos just with iMovie you record them on your iPhone. If you have an iPhone, oh, you have a Droid, Random Nomad. Anyone else seeing the buffer wheel randomly? Richard Kipple says, okay, so Rav, I've been away a while and I don't want you to repeat yourself, but what is the future plan? So the future plans with this channel, Richard, is like what we were saying. I'm going to be using this channel for probably if I interview any nomads, because I want to try to get people that are in the van life community, like Aja or, you know, different people from the van life community. I want them to come on the podcast and I want to be able to interview them. But I don't think I want to do that on Nomad News. So I'll probably, any of those interviews will be on this channel. Any live streams I do will probably be on this channel. I may do a live stream on Nomad News from time to time. I don't know, maybe one a week. But most of the live streams are going to be on this channel. And then if I do any podcast where I have a person come on, it's going to be on this channel more than likely. But the main thing with this is I'm going to look for stuff that is fun. I'm not going to be talking about politics anymore. I'm not going to be talking about anything that's controversial anymore. I'm letting go of all of that stuff. I just want it to be completely positive. Like doing the reaction videos, like I don't think that video it didn't get very many views. I think it got 38 views, which is pretty horrible. But I had fun with that. You know what I mean? And that was showcasing another guy's channel. And it was a reaction video about the sharks that are out here in California. I had fun with that. But like this influencer comes out as Korean, that was a big story that was all over the news. It was all over the mainstream media. And it was, this big controversy because this kid now is saying that he's he had plastic surgery and now he come out as Korean. And I just thought that was just ridiculous. So that was my YouTube video. I'm not going to do any of that stuff anymore at all. That's where I'm done with that. The California in prison, Britney Spears, this is all just like could be considered like controversial stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be doing any kind of stuff like that anymore. What you're going to see on this channel from now on is like Cooper Busman inverter unboxing. You're going to see unboxings. You're going to see, if I have somebody from the van life community wants to come on, I'm going to advertise on the other channel. But if we do a stream, more likely it'll be over here if they're going to do the podcast. Does that make sense? So that's the kind of stuff you're going to see over here. I'm not going to be doing any kind of like controversial or anything that could be, considered whether you're leaning one way politically or the other way politically. I want to get away from all of that stuff. The only reason I got on that bandwagon is I seen all of these people that were new conservatives jumping on that bandwagon and they just skyrocketed to the top, just skyrocketed. Their channels just skyrocketed, but mine it never did anything. So, you know what I mean? So, I mean, even if you look like, let's see, I'll show you a perfect example. Now, Tim has been around for years. He used to be on Vice Media or Vice News. But here's a perfect example. And Tim actually got out in the van lift community. And, he was one of my inspirations.
The Russian Defense Ministry has claimed to have fired warning shots on a UK naval...
Okay, so Tim Pool, 1.25 million subscribers. Tim casts news videos every day. That's all he does. Russia fires warning shots. That's all he does is talk about controversial news stuff. So that's kind of, what I was looking at. Report exposes Google's funding. This is the stuff that, that I was looking at doing. And it wasn't just Tim Pool. I've seen like a handful of, people just start YouTube channels talking about this kind of stuff. And they just shot like to 100,000 subscribers overnight. So that was my idea, was looking for a new format. And I thought, well, I can try it. You know what I mean? Hasn't worked for me at all. None. And I think a big part of that is because I already had an established channel here. It's already got tons of videos of other things on this channel. I think if I had started another channel, which I would never do, but if I would have started another channel from scratch, maybe it might have had a chance. But you're not going to convert people when you're talking about one thing. Does that make sense? You can't just jump off into another, which it took me forever to figure that out. So that's the future of this channel is Nomad News is going to be Nomad News. Now, I may do a live stream or two over there from time to time, maybe once a week. I might have a van lifer on over there, but probably if I have anybody on for live streaming, we're going to do it on this channel. The other thing is I have this gear. So I do want my merch at some point to be able to offer merch. I mean, I have a store set up for merch. Nobody really buys it, which I don't blame them. It's not that great, but like Nomad News, having merch, like nobody wants a hat, I don't think, that's going to say Nomad News on it. You know what I mean? This merch, American Nomad, is more across the board. So I want to have like a designer kind of stuff that anybody can wear that, doesn't say news on it. So that was my idea, if that makes sense. Let me jump back on the chat here. But for Droid Random Nomad, like I said, there is a I'm trying to remember how much it is. I don't know if I pay for it anymore. Let's see. I think it's called Splice. Is the one I use. Yeah, it's called Splice. And I don't think I paid for it. I think I paid for it for like 3 months, but I don't think I'm paying for it anymore because it's like $4 a month. And that's the only one I knew for editing software for a Droid. But what I would do is just get on YouTube and just Google best Droid. I mean, we could do that right now. I mean, let's do it. Let's see. Let's just, or let's YouTube best free video editing soft for Droid. Android. Let's see what it gives us here. So this video is 6 minutes long, so that would be a great, with no watermarks, because you don't want watermarks on your videos. That's free. So this one's 6 minutes, this one's 9 minutes. So that's what I would do, Random Nomad. Go in, this one's 16 minutes. I'd go in and check out some of these. This guy, Justin Brown right here, is really good. So I watch a lot of his videos just on regular video editing stuff. So he's really, you can see how many videos he's got. I didn't know he was a big Android user, but he's got like several videos. Best free video editing app for Android 2021. So how long is this one? 10 minutes. So that's what I would do, Random Nomad. Jump in there and you'll be able to find a good video editing software for your phone. And that's what I would do. The buffering's getting worse. Enjoyed the ranch video. Random Nomad watched it. Trav, man, I would do live streams on Nomad News when you're out and about with other nomads. Yeah, possibly they're Trav, man. Let's see. How long have we been going? We may have to cut this one short because of the 46 minutes. It's been showing me like a red dill like this entire time. So is it still buffering, guys? We may go ahead and wrap this one up. I'm wondering if my settings got off in OBS. That's why. No, settings are good. Don't know what's up. Maybe just my internet connection tonight is thrown off. Let me do a we'll do an internet speed test real quick. Maybe that's what's going on. Let's see what our speed is really quick. I don't know, man. Let's see. The download is amazing. 70, almost 100 from Frontier. It's the upload speed that you need for streaming though. So download doesn't mean anything. So let's see what we got upload. Oh yeah. So that's what it is. We're barely at our upload speed. I've got it set at 5,000 megabytes per second and we're running like 360. So it's the download speed. I mean, the upload speed. So that's what's going on. Something's going on with the internet here in the building tonight. Random Nomad said buffering getting worse. Okay. Richard Kimple says, that's what shocked me. I came for Nomad stuff and came in and it was hardcore politics and I have a degree in politics and government. Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm talking about is, you should do a politics site, not me. Somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. I was just trying to jump on the bandwagon and figure out something that could be successful or get a lot of people talking and stuff, which it never did for this channel. It's so funny because I've seen so many people that started the same time I did and their channels just blew up and mine just never did anything. But this channel was never a Nomad channel. Even though I made it American Nomad, it was never a Nomad channel. I tried to do my Snap-on truck. That was my plan for this channel, was to do my vlogging and stuff for the Snap-on truck over here and have Nomad News on the other channel. But I got so beat down by the Nomad community, you know, about my Snap-on truck that I don't talk much about my Snap-on truck anymore. And I don't plan on doing any talking pretty much on this channel about my Snap-on truck anymore. I'll watch it. Justin Brown. Yeah, Justin Brown. He's really good. Oh, I think I just killed the stream by accident. Are we still going? Still says we're live. I'm trying to get in and out. I may have just killed the stream. You guys still see me? Ah, okay. It says it's working now. Okay, I just refreshed it, so it shows it's working good now. We'll see what's up. It's like the buffering comes and goes. Like, now you're fine for how long, I don't know. I was scared to reload it because I was afraid it would kill the stream, but I just refreshed everything, and we'll see what happens. Exactly what Travman said. Yeah, we only got like 9 minutes left, guys, so I'm going to do this for like an hour, especially since I'm having so many technical difficulties tonight. We'll cut this like right at an hour. But yeah, anyway, so that is the idea with this channel, is I want to just talk about just random stuff from the Nomad community, or, you know, just random stuff. But just getting everything back onto a way more into a positive light than, you know, it has been for a long time. Is it still, are we buffering yet, or is it still going good? Matilda says, okay, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Have a nice week, everyone. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and cut this one. I think we're barely hanging on here with the bit rate. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. What do you, so anybody give me feedback? Would you guys rather see like live streams with Nomads over on the other channel, or would you rather see them over here? I stuck with it. I actually enjoyed those streams. Oh, thank you, Random Nomad. I appreciate that, man. Make sure, yeah, please, guys, give me, if you would hit that thumbs up. It actually helps the videos out in the YouTube algorithm. The funny thing is, you know, Travman, wouldn't it be cool if an alien race jump-started us in space exploration so we could have space nomads? There you go. That would be cool. I agree with it. But I'm afraid if that was the case, we'd probably get wiped out, right? It's so funny because it's showing the stream health is great now. It's so weird. I guess it just got locked into like a crappy setting, and then when I refreshed, it done it, because it's not buffering now, is it? It's still showing that it's not a great. It's still showing that it's 6,000 kilobits, 75. It's showing great now. It's showing we're running good now. 6,200 kilobits per second, 5,000, 5,800, and it was down to 3,500, 3,000, 3,500. So, all right, we'll go for another 8 minutes here. We got 8 minutes till we hit an hour, so let's keep it going. But anyway, so I've stumbled onto these reaction videos, and I think that would be fun for this channel. Like, you know, guy drives truck off bridge, you know, fail videos and stuff. There's a couple of people I've seen that are doing that. And one of them is a big Twitch streamer. He's got like 500,000 Twitch followers, and all he does is watch videos and reacts to it and just gives his funny commentary. So, you know, maybe something like that on this channel. When I don't have nomads to interview, when I'm doing unboxings, that's going to be back on this channel. I've probably got maybe 10 or 15 unboxing videos I've never even put up on this channel. I have an inverter. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys something. Hold on right here. That's a heavy box. Did you guys see that big ass box I just showed you guys? Okay. That box has got like a $400 or $500 inverter in it. And we'll get back up here into, I want to show you guys something really quick. Let me jump back over to the YouTube because I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Let's see. Your channel. There we go. So let me click browser here. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I haven't done this. I haven't done a follow-up, but I need to do a follow-up video. So right here, this video, Cooper Busman Inverter Unboxing. So I did that video 1 year ago. It's actually over a year ago. It had to have been over a year ago because it was before the pandemic. So I did that in my old office when I was working for SVO. You guys remember my old office, Travman, Random Nomad, Matilda. You guys probably remember that old office I had at SVO when I was working over there. So I did this unboxing for this Cooper Busman inverter. What I never told you guys is I bought that inverter and it was only $125. It was $125. I got it brand new off of eBay. And it looks like a really nice inverter. And, I mean, it is a really nice inverter, but I bought it for RTR 2020 of last year. February, I bought it. I guess it's probably January of last year of 2020, right before the pandemic, because I went to RTR 2020. I bought that inverter to have a bigger inverter for my truck, because I have like a little tiny one in there, little 700 watt, like Walmart inverter is what I had. And I had a bigger one that come with the truck, but it was old and it's like a Cobra that you would find like in a big rig. So I wanted something that was more, you know, like a real inverter that like a van lifer would use. So I bought this Cooper Busman, and then I was in such a hurry I was trying to get my truck ready for RTR. So I ended up hooking that inverter up, and just out of a split, because I knew to unhook the batteries from the truck, but I was in such a hurry. I was like, it's only 2 wires. All I got to do is take the wires off the old inverter, stick them on the new inverter, screw them in, and I'm done. I don't have to worry about anything. It won't take 5 minutes to install this thing. So I unboxed it on camera. I showed you guys the inverter. I was so excited to have this inverter at RTR and have a big, nice inverter, a decent inverter. That, you know, it had a USB in the front of it, so I could plug my phone in and just charge off the inverter. And I was really stoked about having, and it's only, like I said, $125. I pulled the cable off of the old inverter, put it right on the new one, pulled the cable off the old inverter, put it right on this new one. The cables were backwards on the inverters. They were twisted, or they were mixed. So when I pulled the negative off the old inverter and put it right on this one, the terminals were right the opposite on the new one. So it short-circuited the inverter and completely burned it up. And there's no fuse in this Cooper Busman inverter. Like most decent inverters, if you do, even the little crappy Walmart inverter that I was taking out, it has the fuse. It has a fuse in it. If you basically short it out, it just blows the fuse. You just take the fuse out, put a new fuse in it, and it's good again. This Cooper Busman had no fuse in it. It's basically ruined. So that was such a bummer at RTR. Everything, I'd taken all my equipment and stuff. I was going to be able to run all my podcasting equipment. I couldn't do that because I didn't have a decent size inverter. So yeah. So I've still got that brand new Cooper Busman inverter, and it's literally just it's a boat anchor. I mean, it's brand spanking new, but there's no fuse in it. You can't, I read the directions because I was like, where's the fuse? I need to replace the fuse. So I got the pamphlet out, started reading. It says, make sure that you don't short circuit this thing, because if you do, there's no fuse protection. It's done. So I ordered, you just saw that box. I ordered that inverter to replace this Cooper Busman, and this inverter is $300 or $400. Let's see, let me get, it's $300 or $400 inverter. It's got a fuse protection on it. I've had it for 6 months. I've never taken it out of the box. It's been sitting here in a chair in my office for 6 months. I've never taken it out of the box. I've had so many things, bad luck happen with my Snap-on truck, that I'm just ready to get rid of it and get onto a new platform and start something different, because I've had so much bad luck with this Snap-on truck, things that I've never had happen with anything else. So it's like the Snap-on truck is literally, it's like it's cursed. I mean, just one thing after another I've had problems with it, and most of it's my own fault. I mean, I didn't know how it's got like 6-volt batteries in it. I didn't understand how the 6-volt batteries worked. I hooked the 6-volt batteries up one time by accident wrong and shorted like all kinds of stuff out. It took me like a week of replacing parts to get it back running again. So yeah, I'm just, and then I had a drunk driver run into the back of me when I was parked on the street. That was right at the beginning of the pandemic. So the insurance I talked to the insurance, and then they closed down, and I've never been able to get a hold of the insurance again, because the guy that hit me that was drunk had insurance. He was in a company truck. So it's still wrecked. I've never been able to get it fixed. So, I mean, it's just one bad thing after another. So, I mean, it's like I'm ready to sell it and move on to something else. And then, they broke into it like 2 months ago, stole my drone, about $10,000 or $15,000 worth of equipment out of there that I just stuck in there for that day that had never been in that truck. I'd never had it in that truck, but I did a photo shoot. So I had to go by my storage room, my storage facility, get all of these high-dollar strobe lights that I use for photography in this huge Pelican case, put them in the step van into the Snap-on truck. I went and done the photo shoot for Christmas cards. This was Christmas. Some friends of mine asked me if I would do their Christmas card photos so they could do Christmas cards. Really good friends of mine. They only live like 3 miles from here. They let me house sit their house when they're in Vegas and stuff, and they've got a big, beautiful home that I just veg out and lay on the couch and watch their big 60-inch TV. You know what I mean? So they're really good friends of mine. So when they asked me, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. I'd love to do your Christmas card photos for their little boy and little girl and the family, so I went by my storage unit, got these expensive strobe lights that were in my storage, put them in the truck. I went to their house. I did the photo shoot for them. We wrapped up about 10 p.m. And then I was going to stop and get something to eat. And then when I stopped, I realized I didn't have my wallet. So I freaked out. I'm like, I must have left my wallet at their house, or it fell out of my pocket, or I didn't know what happened. So I jumped in my truck, and because I was going to take the lights directly back to my storage unit. But because of, not having my wallet, freaking out over my wallet, I ended up running back to my office really quick, because I was like, did I leave my wallet in my office? Sure enough, I got back to the office and the wallet was here in the office. But I didn't go back to my storage because now I'm at the office. So I was like, the lights will be fine. I'll take them tomorrow, the next day. It's kind of nice to have them in the truck anyway. If I want to use them, if I need another photo shoot. That night, my truck got broken into, and they stole those lights. And those lights are $1,000 a piece, and there was 4 of them in there, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. They got my my Xbox One S. They got my drone, my DJI drone. They got all kinds of stuff. But anyway, the truck is set up to where it's very hard to break into. And they ended up getting a pallet from the dumpster over here and used the pallet as a ladder to crawl up so they could get inside and reach inside the truck. You can't just walk up to my Snap-on truck like a, like a pickup or like a, like a car and bust the window out and get into it. The problem is there's a big deadbolt lock on there, but I lost the key to it and now I can't lock that deadbolt. If that deadbolt was locked on there, you couldn't even open it. They would have never been able to open the door, but because I wasn't locking the deadbolt anymore because I lost the key to it, they were able to pop the door open. Let's see. Harvey Chris says, I had a high wattage inverter should have a fuse. Think fire. Yeah. Well, they have fuses, but you put like an inline fuse. But most inverters have a built-in fuse in case you short them out. You can just, pull the cover off of them and change the fuse. Most high-end inverters. But that Busman doesn't have one. Random Nomad says, wow, I just lost the stream for a bit back now. Me too. Been happening all day. RV Chris. Oh, it's gone? Okay. Well, I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me. It shows the stream's working good here. Stream not working, guys? Let's see if we can refresh. All right, I think the stream just died. I tried to refresh it. I think it killed it maybe. No? I don't know if it's going or not. Oh, you can hear me? Oh, you're good now? Okay, I just refreshed it. It's showing that it's got it's got a green. So the OBS has a green or a red. If the stream health is good, it's green. If it's red, it's means you're not pushing enough bit rates. But it's Trevman says, yeah, it kicked me off for a minute too. Had to get back on. Good now. Okay. Anyway, we're already past an hour, so hour and 6 minutes. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank you guys. I just kind of wanted to give an update on what's going on. Hopefully you guys, if you don't know about my other channel, Nomad News, if you're in the Nomad community, RV Chris, you guys, I'm going to be trying to do an episode. I don't know how long this is going to last, but for right now, my plan is to do an episode of Nomad News every day. Like I said, it only takes me about 6 hours now to gen out a episode instead of 12 hours. So I've cut it in half. Let's see. RV Chris, Apple TV, YouTube, everything buffering today. Oh, is it? Huh. Yeah, that's weird. Nope, I don't have the Dodge anymore, Chris. It's been gone for a long time. For months. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of the American Nomad Podcast. I want to thank you for bearing with me through all the technical difficulties. The funny thing is when I use StreamYard, I usually don't have these streaming issues. It's kind of weird, but it's telling me I got an excellent connection, so I don't know now what the deal is. Random Nomad says, if you're interested, go over to Random Stacker. Check it out, please. Yeah, I've been over there. Random, I'm actually subscribed to that channel, Random Stacker. Travman, do you still have the Coleman stove I gave you? Yes, sir, Travman, I sure do. That was one thing they did not steal. They stole all of the. I'd bought a bunch of butane, the little propane tanks for it because I use it all the time. So I bought a bunch of propane that at Walmart because during the pandemic you couldn't find them. So I found a Walmart with the little propane, the little propane disposable little propane bottles, and I bought 6 of them because they come in a pack of 3, and it was only like $10 or something like that for 3. So I bought 2 packs with 6 of them. So when they broke into my Snap-on truck, they stole all of those freaking propane tanks, and I found them out here beside the building, buried in the ground because they got rained on or something, and they threw them down outside in the ground. They didn't even take them because they didn't know what they were. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you for bearing with me with all the freaking buffering we had going on tonight. Had to be something to do with the internet. What it may be is this building is full. This building it's completely filled up, which has not been the case of this whole pandemic. It's just been me. So I use the building internet. So there may be a lot of other people today that's been using the building internet. So it may have thrown the stream into chaos. I've not had to worry about that during the pandemic because I was like the only one in the building. There was only like 3 of us in this big, huge 2-story building. There's only be like 2 or 3 people on this entire floor. If you went out in the parking lot, there would only be maybe 3-4 cars out there. You go out in the parking lot now, you can't find a place to park. The whole parking lot is packed. So it's probably a lot of other people on this building Wi-Fi, but I just can't afford my own Wi-Fi on a monthly basis because it's $100 and something a month. So I have to try to use the building Wi-Fi. That's why I do the podcast later at night. So everybody hopefully is off of it. Yep. Peace and positive vibrations, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And that is going to do it for this episode of the American Nomad Podcast. And remember,
thank you for listening to the American Nomad Podcast. Until next time, keep looking up because that's where it all is.
have a great week, guys. We will possibly see you back here on... I've got a job on Friday, so I'm not going to be here Friday, but I might try to do a show Wednesday. We'll see what happens. I'll try to let you guys know on the community tab if we're going to do a show or not, though. If it's going to cancel, look at the community tab. I'll let you know. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it. Have a great day, and peace out. Good to see you, Trav, man. Good to see you, Random Nomad, RV Chris. I think Matilda's already gone. Richard Kemple, good to see you guys. Tasha Teeling, good to see you. Until next time.